Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. As we were speaking with Chandan, you saw that news flashing by both on Aurobindo and JMC Projects. Aurobindo getting a nod for a treatment. We will tell you a little more about this bacterial infections drug. But importantly, JMC, the civil engineering company, has got orders worth nearly 2,000 crores. Part of it from Madhya Pradesh government on Narmada Valley Development Authority and part of it from NMDC. We are being joined by Mr. Manoj Tulsian, whole-time director and CFO at JMC Projects. Good morning, Manoj. Can you tell us a little more about these projects? What does it mean to you in terms of margins? Over what period have you to finish this construction?
Good morning, Lata. These irrigation projects which we have received has to be completed within a period of 42 months. So there are two projects.
Yes.
One has to be done in 36 months and the other one in 42 months.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really look at, we were looking at improving our books on the water segment because it gets very well aligned with our strategy in terms of, a good mix between high capex oriented business and low capex oriented business. And we have very successfully been able to do, good projects in the last 3-4 years in the water segment. So this totally aligns with our strategy.
What do you make in terms of margins?
Well, look, in terms of margin, we have become very disciplined in the last 4 years, and I've been saying this since long, that whatever level we bid, we make sure that we are within the threshold level of margin. So right now, if you see last year, our margin was at around 10.3%, which grew by around 120 basis points compared to the previous year. So these projects will give us similar level of margins for sure.
Okay. You have spoken about a 15 to 20% growth for FY19 in your press release. Just wanted to understand what is the order book that you have currently, and how much do you expect your order book to grow over the next 12 months?
So now with these order books, we will be very close to 10,000 crores.
Okay.
Right, and for this year, we had declared in the month of April around 940 crores of orders, which was on flyovers, again on the infra side. And taking this together, we are now close to around 2,900 crores already in the first 3 months. Okay. Our earlier guidance was close to around 4,500 crores. But we feel that we have good amount of L1 orders still in hand, more than 1,000 crores.
Okay.
So we would be crossing 4,500 crores, which definitely will help us in growing better in the next 2 to 3 years.
What's the debt on your books and what's the rate of servicing it?
Well, the debt on the book is close to around 750 odd crores. And the cost of servicing is less than 10% right now.
Oh, okay. Your money is forthcoming actually, from banks.
It's very much near 9.5%.
Wow.
All right. So this 15 to 20% growth that you talk about is top line growth for FY19, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Manoj, thanks for stopping by.
Just a word, Manoj, is there generally a better flow of orders in the irrigation sector from states? Has it improved, say, compared to last year or the year before?
Well, some of the states are doing well. So I think MP is really concentrating on improving the irrigation mechanism in the state. And they have been coming out with tenders in the last almost 1 year of good sizes. And we were also working very hard because we felt that, these type of orders will be the next launching pad for a company like JMC.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Manoj Tulsian, for joining us with those details. So that's JMC increasing its order book. Rupee opened flat. That's 68.13. I think yesterday's close was 68.12. So not much of a change. JMC Projects, meanwhile, opens strongly higher. We perhaps should also look at how Info Edge is opening. If you get an early rate on Info Edge, we're not seeing too much of a change in the Nifty. Nifty is flat as flat can get. Info Edge, okay, that's another 7%, no, 0.6, 7 rupees higher on Info Edge. Those are stocks that are in the news, but otherwise market is looking absolutely flat.
Absolutely flat. Some of these pharma stocks, that have had it good this month are gaining ground. So Sun Pharma and Lupin continue to trade in the green by a tad bit actually. Sun Pharma is now up 20% in the month of June, and so is Lupin actually 20% higher there. So maybe pharma could be in focus. Reliance Industries once again is topping the charts. It's up more than 1% right now. It's been the market leader for a while, and a couple of others like Hindalco etc. are bouncing back just a tad bit. But Aurobindo Pharma is also in focus this morning. Ekta is here to tell us exactly why. Ekta, over to you.
Hi, thanks for that. Well, this is a long-awaited approval that Aurobindo has finally got. I'll just give you a little bit of a background. They had received some queries from the FDA in December of 2017 with regards to a target action date on ertapenem, this particular injection drug. They replied to it, and in the Q4 numbers, the company had guided that they would be receiving approval probably in the first half of the FY19. So that's exactly what has happened. They've received approval for this anti-infective injection called ertapenem. It is from their Oronext facility. It's around a $350 million plus market size, and the company can probably make around $100 million in terms of sales, and probably come down to around $60 million in terms of an opportunity for Aurobindo from this particular drug. So it's a limited competition drug, and you can expect the stock to probably benefit on account of this approval, which the street was awaiting and had an inkling that it's round the corner.
Okay, so that's very important. Ekta now giving us more perspective. So Aurobindo 2% higher. Manisha Gupta is waiting by, but before that, Prakash, I just wanted to ask you, generally drug stocks have been doing well. In the 2 weeks of my holiday, almost the 4 key drug stocks in the Nifty are up by nearly 20%. Sun, Lupin, Cipla and Dr. Reddy's. And now we have positive news on Oro. Anything in your shopping list?
So, Lata, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So my sense is what's happened, and very precisely while you were away, is a potent combination of two things. One is under ownership in all these large stocks, and a very positive concentrated news flow, particularly related to molecules that do well for them, which have impact also. So my shopping list continues to be very consistent with what I started even 2 weeks back. One is Biocon. I think Biocon will give you, it's a binary kind of effect that it has in terms of news flow. It's not unlike, a Sun or a Cadila or a Oro. And the second stock that I continue to believe is likely to benefit tremendously from this news flow, the nature of news flow, is Cadila Healthcare. We've seen them being actually one of the first off the blocks in terms of remediation, in terms of improvement in their practices. So if the Moraiya facility, which is one of the most critical in terms of what they sell, gets some sort of positive news flow going forward, which seems to be the flavor of the month of sorts, I think Cadila will probably get re-rated significantly. So Biocon and Cadila stand out as yet to participate kind of players in this pharma rally.
All right, we'll come back to you for more. For now, let's go across to Manisha Gupta and find out what's happening in the world of commodities. Manisha, hi, morning. Once again, crude is back on the boil.
Well, it is. But, we have seen 1% decline in the New York session yesterday, but Asia has seen buying come back, and that clearly has been the pattern. We have seen buying come back on all the lows in case of crude. Even with the OPEC and the allies agreeing for to increase supplies, the markets believe that it wouldn't be more than 6 lakh barrels per day starting 1st of July. And on the other side, there is supply tightness that we are seeing. There is decline in production and exports from Venezuela, Nigeria, Algeria, and from Libya as well. And that tells you that the second half of 2018 perhaps would be looking at tightness in the markets. Add to that, Canada exports for July also will decline because there are outages being reported from oil sands. So the supply clearly is an issue, and the demand continues to be on the stronger side. So it is buy on all dips when it comes to the crude oil prices. Cannot say the same about the metal space because we are looking at escalating tensions between US and China, US and Europe as well. And then there are increases in inventories in many of these metals. So that tells you that the demand isn't as strong as well. So you have the copper prices trading at a 3-week lows. Zinc is trading at 10-month lows. The steel prices in Shanghai today have declined to a 4-week lows as well. So everywhere that you see in the metal space, we have started Asia today in red.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Manisha. We'll look forward to how things open up at 10 a.m. And Manisha will be back with us. For the moment, another stock which made an announcement to the stock exchange yesterday was United Spirits. They announced that they have picked up a 26% stake in HIP Bar, I would assume HIP, HIP Bar, for, I don't know, I mean, it was all of 27 crores, not a great deal of money. Abneesh Roy of Edelweiss Securities joins us. He's written a report on this. Abneesh, it was all of 27 crores, didn't look like big, but do you think it's a material difference?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting step, shows the mindset of the leader to do disruptive steps and disruptive strategy. We have also seen Marico and Imami also do kind of similar things wherein they have taken stake in e-commerce product companies. United Spirits will get access to two things. One is e-commerce delivery in Bangalore to start with, and in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, it's a B2B as of now. I think it's a great disruptive strategy because if you see in liquor, the biggest challenge has been distribution. Number of shops are not going up. The customer may not have time. The best part, liquor is a high value item, so delivery is much more viable than say FMCG. We have already seen in FMCG, Unilever have a 1.5% of sales coming from e-commerce. So I think it's a great step. I think in this kind of a segment, it is much more viable. We have seen pharma companies in terms of pharma delivery apps being there, wherein the doctor verification happens. So it's the same thing is being done here in terms of age verification being possible through the app. Then there is the payment gateway also. So I think it's a very, very good long-term. Lot of implications will be there in terms of market share gain, and in-home consumption will definitely go up.
So in terms of market share gains, what are you looking at? Because HIP Bar, I think, currently operates only in Chennai, right? Or is it across other states as well?
So I think these are quite scalable. Currently in two cities, in Bangalore it is B2C, so customer can get home delivery. In Chennai it is currently B2B. But the best part is the lobby of the liquor is working extremely aggressively, both United Spirits and Pernod and rest of the players with the governments, because this is a win-win for government and the liquor industry both. This increases compliance and this increases consumption, which is good for the state governments also, because then the tax revenues goes up. So I think these are scalable. Once these companies have shown in Bangalore this works, this can be easily extrapolated to the bigger cities, because the tax revenues will go up for the government also.
All right. We leave it at that, Abneesh Roy, and look forward to this with interest and see how this changes the purchase of liquor or the entire market itself. Well, for the moment, let's get back to stocks and to our experts. Stocks starting lower, as all of them had called, about 1/3% lower. So it looks like the Sensex could start about 100 points lower and the Nifty about 20 points lower. 10,750 breached and 742 is where it stands. But the Nifty Bank has lost a goodish bit more, about 0.5% lower is where the pre-opening rates are indicating. So Darshan, what would you do with this? The Nifty Bank and the Nifty?
Well, the opening suggests that it's going to be stronger than what the SGX was saying. And if we open somewhere around 740, then we are still inside a trading range. I would be then selling the Nifty only on a rally from here subsequently. But the trade is still to be on the short side of the market. And the Bank Nifty is probably an easier short sell. But we need to wait for 15 minutes before we go into the sell for Nifty Bank.
So what are the top trades now, Prakash Gaba, in the pharmaceutical space? Because this morning as well, a lot of pharma stocks are in the green. What's your favorite?
I like Dr. Reddy. That looks good. Seen a good up move last couple of weeks, and what we have seen last couple of days is more of a four short days. It's trading near support, so it's a good place to bounce if it has to. So 2,220 is the place I would look at to buy.
Okay. Well, apart from the pharma stocks, the other stocks that have had a very good June rally are the Bajaj twins. Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, again, are slightly unrecognizable from their levels when I saw them in early June. Mitesh, I know these are evergreen stocks, so to speak, but is there a trading bounce that one can still play in these two?
See, we had a buy call on Bajaj Finserv, I think, few days back. It made the target of around 6250, is coming down again. Around, 6100 would be a good entry point. Keep a 70-point kind of stop loss and look for targets of around 6300. I think Bajaj Finance, I think while I like the stock chart very clearly, it's run up too much away from short-term averages, and the risk-reward equation isn't very favorable.
Hey, Prakash, Prakash Diwan, fundamentally, how would you look at these? I mean, these are expensive stocks, but they always are and they still make money. So do you enter Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv at a time when the rest of the market seems in a range?
So Lata, my sense is, the scarcity premium that prevails with the Bajaj twins is very much at play, and I would want to wait for a better opportunity to do, because and there have been opportunities in the past which tell you that that was not probably the last time that you saw some of these stocks come off. It's just that flight to safety brings these stocks back into back into center stage kind of a position as soon as markets start looking weak. But I would not buy into these. There are much better businesses, smaller businesses, not maybe the same quality and pedigree, which are also showing a lot of promise, particularly on the SME side and commercial vehicle financing side. So, that's another pocket that I would look at rather than just consumer finance and this overall broad NBFC spectrum.
Okay, well, just about a minute more to go. Prakash Diwan, I also wanted your views on Ashok Leyland. It's gone from 160 to 130 over the last couple of months. You think it's a good time to buy, or do you think you could get better levels here?
Yeah, so, the last time I spoke to Anuj about this, when it was about 147, 148, my sense is 120, 115 to 120, 125 is a good entry level for Ashok Leyland, because that takes away the entire risk out of your equation, and the reward starts looking much more favorable given their capex that's likely to happen this year. So we've seen Ashok Leyland do these repair kind of events for themselves on the balance sheet. Now it's time for their expansion phase, and you'll have to see how they deploy capital, how they allocate capital on that. So I would buy it only at that level, not right now. It's still about 10-15% to go.
Okay. Well, but there are only 25 seconds to go for the markets to open. So I'm wondering if we can get any take from our experts. It looks like it's going to be a 100-point cut on the Sensex, but not at all as nasty as the SGX Nifty had indicated. And of course, Bank Nifty is in a different plane altogether. And that could be entirely because of ICICI Bank, which is pulling its weight in favor of the bears. But then IndusInd and Kotak also are not doing too much. That's also down. Kotak also are not doing too much. That's also down about 0.5%.